So today I will be talking about when Google stops sending traffic, what happens? Okay? So I want to start with a story. So in 1999, some of you were not even born yet. I was huddled in a small room with one table, and I was clicking on the help file on a Microsoft front page, learning how to build a website. And we were building an e-commerce company. Not we, me. I was a solo founder, and I was selling original VCDs. At that time, it was called video CDs, even before DVDs, even before streaming. So that's how old I am. Okay, so so what happened was when we launched. Okay, sorry about that. I cannot. Sorry. So when we launched, okay. So I was so worried that I would not have business. So I was spamming the forums. There were no Facebook. There was just forums. So I was pushing a lot of spam into forum. Hey, come and buy my VCDs, right? But at the same time, I was submitting search engine to get the search engines to come and crawl the website. And at that time, the search engines, Google was just 1 year in the game. Google launched in 1997, it was still beta. And those search engines were the likes of Yahoo, Alta Vista. I remember Alta Vista was the biggest one. And it was not really search engines, it was directories. So you can see that it was in a directory format. And I was very lucky. I can say that I was very lucky because the domain on the e-commerce site was called coolvcd.com because it's cool. So, and then one day I found that all the spam in the forums did not result in much traffic, but it had sales. But one day when I walked into the office, there was a lot of sales. And I was surprised. Hey, what's going on? And I noticed that, oh, Alta Vista just put us up in their directory. And just because my domain was coolvcd.com, it's early in the alphabetical order, it was right at the top. So it didn't have much AI or whatever, it's just ranking organically because it's early in the alphabetical order. And we had a lot of sales, so we were profitable in the first year. And the reason why I'm telling you this is I want most marketers will know the concept of push and pull marketing. So what I was doing was I was pushing a lot of spam into the forums. Didn't work because push marketing is actually interruptive, right? Whereas pull marketing is what attracts the users with intent. Why pull marketing is important? Because people are actually typing in something with intent for information, navigational, intent to buy. Okay? So let me back it up with some data. See, even as of today, you notice that generally traffic going to websites, more than 1,000% comes from organic search with intent as compared to organic social. 1,000. Okay? And the traffic comes in pre-qualified, pre-filtered with trust. At least 70 to 80% comes into the website with trust. And they don't click, generally, they don't click on pay-per-click ads or ads. When you see an organic search result, they click and it comes to your website with trust. Okay? Now, you see that search with high intent is more than double in organic social conversion because they come with intent. And I'm missing one bar here. It's paid ads. and it's about 2.7 times higher. Organic search with intent. And you see that the ROI, the ones who are building websites, the ROI is 700% higher than pay-per-click. So if you are spending money on pay-per-click as compared to SEO, it's a no-brainer to go and SEO, right? But I think the number is wrong because I don't think it's only 700%. It's almost infinite. Why? Because when you did a very good job of SEO on your website, it sits on your website and brings you traffic for years and years to come. What is the ROI? It's almost infinite. So 700% is actually very little. Okay, so now you know how important search traffic with intent is. Now I want to talk about the why. Why is it important now? And we are in an era of the great decoupling. What's the great decoupling? Search as we see today, especially the 800-pound gorilla, which is Google, behaves differently than what we think. It has changed. So it is decoupled. So this is Google in 1999. This is 2025. You can see the arrow pointing there is AI mode. Google is how do I put it? Readying everyone to get into AI mode. Nothing has changed. You see that the user, the UI has not changed, but what has changed is the output. You can see that 70-80% of users use Google or use the internet or consume content on the phone, not really so much on the desktop. Okay, so this is a phone interface. Best lightweight hiking boots. You can see that the Google that we know gives you 10 blue links. This is the search results. But today, it behaves differently. You see the panel at the top, it has taken over the major valuable real estate on your phone, pushing down the 10 blue links below the fold, much, much lower, okay? And Google is trying to keep you into this chat conversation, the walled garden, and not getting the users to click through to your website. It's a major problem for those people who have been spending a lot of money on SEO. And some of you, some big websites, you'll see that the drop has been very gradual and some very drastic, okay, of traffic coming to your website from Google search. Now, this is the zero-click apocalypse. 93% of traffic from AI, Google, AI mode doesn't click through to your website. It's major. It's not 9%, it's 93%. They don't click through to the website. So if you are not part of the answer, not part of the AI overview, you are lost. More numbers. You can see that in mid-2024, the click-through rate for organic search result has dropped 65%. And even for paid ads, Google makes a ton of money from paid ads, from pay-per-click, but they are cannibalizing their own business. And you can see that the paid ads click-through rate has dropped by 60%. All right? And majority of traffic has just dropped 66%, and it's a zero-click. They don't come to the website anymore. And it's across all different industries. You can see publishing and news, 80 to 90% drop, travel, 90% drop, content marketing, 70-80% traffic loss. Anyone has invested a lot of money over the years, probably in the last 1-2 decades on SEO. They are having this problem now. And the shift is inevitable. 3 years back, when ChatGPT started, Google was taken aback because they were supposed to be a research lab. Google has its own AI research lab called DeepMind, whereas OpenAI has a research lab to progress AI for humanity. But out of the sudden, OpenAI launched ChatGPT for the mass market, open source. Everybody jumped onto it. And you can see that Netflix took 3.5 years to reach 1 million users. ChatGPT took 5 days, 5 days to reach 1 million users. It's a major shift in the history of digital. And you see that by October 2025, it's already 800 million. And the chart is growing up exponentially. It's an inevitable shift. Now, what you are seeing, search traffic, which I talk about push and pull, the king of pull is search, organic search traffic. And what you're witnessing today, the floor is like caving in below your feet. But it has moved somewhere. And it has moved to answer engines. Why do I mean by that? You can see that Google Organic, this traditional search, and this is from ChatGPT, conversion rate is 5 to 9 times higher than Google Organic search. When I talk about SEO, which is already so high, now with the answer engines is 5 to 9 times higher in terms of conversion compared to organic search. The highest, the king of pull, SEO, but something has beaten it, which is the answer engine. You can see over here, even ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, even Claude is 2.8 times higher, Perplexity is 6 times higher than organic Google search. In the e-commerce sector, ChatGPT traffic converting at 16% as compared to Google search 1.8%. Do the math. In B2B, AI search traffic showed 18.7%. Conversion rate for Google search 2.2%. Do the math. So, beyond conversion, the quality of customers is very high. You look at customer lifetime value from answer engines, 67% higher than organic Google search. Refund and cancellation for those in e-commerce dropped by 73%. Support ticket rate dropped by 64%. And 73% higher as compared to Google search. AI referred customers have a 73% higher conversion rate on the first time landing on your e-commerce shop. So when I talk about answer engines, I'm not only referring to ChatGPT. Of course, the other engines like Perplexity and all that. But the one that I'm referring to is the gorilla in the room, is Google. Google is always a search engine, but because of ChatGPT, Google is pivoting into an answer engine. So you will see a lot of information in the market. Oh, Google is still getting a lot of traffic. It's still the big market share, blah, 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 blah. Yes, absolutely correct. But is it for organic search or is it for AI overview and AI mode? You see? So now as I speak, Google is already pivoting to become an answer engine. And answer engines work differently. Back to the traffic goal thingy, a visit from any AI platform, which is AI mode, AI overview, Google, ChatGPT, is 4.4 times higher in terms of economic value compared to Google search, organic Google search. Okay, why? Because it's pre-qualified with intent. People coming in to your website, they have intent to buy. It's 4.4 times higher. Okay, again, it's Google AI mode or Google overview and ChatGPT and DeepSeek and everything else. And now I'm going to, you know the why that is so important for us to be very cognizant of this, what's happening. And now I want to tell you the what. What are we going to do about it, or how does it work? How does answer engines work? Now, in the new discipline or the new era from SEO to AEO, the objective of search engine is to drive traffic to your website. Agree? But in answer engines, the objective is to become the answer in the conversational chat. It's not to drive traffic to your website. It's to become the answer, to be cited, to be mentioned, your brand, your service, your product. The audience for SEO is for human. Coming to human will come to your website, look at the content. But in the era of AEO, it's for the large language models, the ChatGPT, the AI mode, the AI overview. It is to feed the large language model content so that it cites you. Of course, part of it is for human readership also. But the main priority now, because people are not coming to your website anymore, they're getting the answers from answer engine, the main objective of your digital assets is to feed the right content to the large language models so that it mentions and cites you. Okay? The metric for SEO was, how much web traffic, what's the click-through rate, But for AEO is, what's your share of voice? How many times are you mentioned as compared to your competitors? Are you being mentioned at all? What are the questions that you are mentioned for? What's the sentiment when the LLMs give the answer? Are you even part of the conversation? If you are not, you are lost. Okay? And the key tactics for traditional SEO was backlink, 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 backlink. 99% of most agencies all over the world, how many backlinks can you do for me? My company, Growth Pro, started 8 years back. We have never done a single backlink. Okay? Our framework is based on content. We create content that search engines love. Okay? So now with AEO, because we were doing content for many, many years, it bodes very well for our clients and even for us. Okay? So let me tell you how search engines work very quickly. This is what we call pogo skipping. When you type in a search term, then the traffic, you get 10 blue links, the original SEO, 10 blue links. A user will click on a link, goes to a website, check it out, bounce, come back, click on another link, go to the website, bounce again, and so on and so forth. This is called pogo sticking. Okay, to and fro, human at work. But the answer engines are different. You don't put in a search term, you put a query. Sometimes it's a multi-part query. And the AI does the pogo sticking for you because it can do it at scale, at speed, at the research that a human cannot do. And it does it in seconds. So you don't have to do all this heavy lifting. The AI agent will do the heavy lifting. And it combs through hundreds of websites, sometimes hundreds or tens of websites, summarize, compile, make it into bite-sized answer, and present to you in a silver platter. That's a response agent. And it works based on trained data and also the latest data that comes from the web. So most large language model, LLMs, ChatGPT, blah, 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 they have a cut-off date for the training of their LLM. For ChatGPT 5, it's 1 year. It's 30th of September last year. So until today, the latest information between then and now is not part of the training data. So the LLM needs to go out onto the web and grab as much content, the latest one, from Google or Bing or anything else. And I'll explain to that later. SEO, how is SEO? This is very fundamental. SEO is a ranking algorithm. Okay? The answer engines, they are large language models. It's a retrieval algorithm. It's totally different. It's like cats and dogs, night and day. So if you understand how search engines work, Google wants the best kind of content with the highest authority and the best user experience for their users, right? If Google gives you the top ranked content, which has very bad user experience, very bad mobile, it's not even mobile friendly, and the content is like meh, then it's going to affect the brand of Google. So it's absolutely a must for Google to give you the best of the best. And the most important is the most comprehensive content, because people are just putting in keywords, best life insurance Malaysia. They're not even asking questions, they just put a keyword term. So Google does not have that much context. It gives you the most comprehensive. So anyone who has been doing SEO for ages, you know that you're going to write 3,000 word content. Some even 20,000 word content. It's crazy. You write a whole encyclopedia because you want to cover everything, and Google says, wow, all the content is there. I'm going to rank him higher because that's what my users want. That's how Google works. But answer engines are different. It's based on retrieval. Okay? So now, let me explain how answer engines work. The LLMs work based on token economy. Okay, it's a bit technical. Okay, so the amount of tokens that it uses up depends on how much of content it processes. So if you have got a 3,000 word article written for SEO, and there's a query, there's a prompt from ChatGPT that wants just, let's say a query, ABC query, and it just wants two very important points. Okay, so you want chunked, bit size, to direct to the point. I don't want grandmother stories. So when ChatGPT goes and look at a 3,000 word article, it's going to say, oh, this is going to bankrupt me. Because it uses so much token to process the 3,000 word article to look for just the 2 points. So what happens? It skips that 3,000 word article. It looks for something else which is easier to pick out, which is more, of course, you got to be relevant, you've got to be good, user-friendly, high authority, blah, 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 but the chunk size of the content must be accurate, precise, and to the point. So that it's very efficient to retrieve. So based on AOGO is a retrieval algorithm. Do you know that your SEO article, which is 2,000 word, 3,000 word article, is now a liability. A liability. Let that sink in. So let me show you. This is a multi-part query of a general prompt that you put into ChatGPT. I'm traveling with kids to Singapore for 4 days. What's the best hotel near me? Now, why I say multi-part query? Because it's broken down into multiple entities. And one entity is traveling, another entity is kids, another is a geo entity, which is Singapore. 4 days is a timeline entity. What's the best hotel is an entity. Nature is another entity. So answer engines do not work based on keywords. It's based on semantic relevance and entity. Anybody knows what's a knowledge graph? So it creates this knowledge graph, right, of your business. Whether you are a sustainable company or you are a green company or blah, blah, it's a knowledge graph. Okay, so based on entity, it breaks down into what we call subqueries, dozens and dozens of subqueries. I remember what I told earlier. It will do the pogo sticking for you. This is what we call fan out query. It fans out like the Chinese fan, fans out. Okay, fans out all the different variations of queries on different entities. It goes out into the web. First, it goes into the model, the large language model. see whether those are available in their training data. And if they want to get the latest data, it fans out to dozens and dozens of websites. Again, bear in mind, it will crawl those websites which are very efficient for them to do it. So what you'll notice is that your articles were ranked number 1, 2, or 3, just because it's very comprehensive. A lot of times they don't get crawled by, they won't get picked up by the answer engines. And you'll notice that, that's what I noticed. Some of the content is picked up on the page 7 of Google. Why? Because the answer engines loves freshness of content. And some of these are very fresh. And those people who really know how to do it is very precise. And then the answer engines love it. They'll pick up, oh, this is on page number 7 of Google organic search. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to skip all the page number 1, number 2, because it's too long. It's going to burn all my tokens. Understand how it works? So when somebody puts in ChatGPT, there's a prompt, what happens? ChatGPT wants, I want clean, precise, reliable. I don't want grandmother stories. Okay? So I'm going to talk to you about what's the playbook? What's the playbook on the strategy? I'm going to talk about strategy, not so much on tactic. I'm just skimming through the tactic. Okay, I'll give you an analogy. Now imagine in the morning, you and your wife, you're going to go and catch the sunrise. You know sunrise rises in the east, and you walk towards the east. Okay? No matter how slow you walk, eventually you'll catch the sunrise because you're facing the east. But if you are facing the north or the south or the west, you're in the wrong direction. Even though you have the fastest car, the most powerful horses, the best running shoes, those are tactical. You do the right tactics, but you're in the wrong direction. Will you catch the sunrise? No way. No way. So don't worry too much about tactical executions. ChatGPT can give you all the answers on the tactical executions. Just go deep research how to do AEO, and it gives you everything. But the right direction must be correct. So what I'm going to do today is to give you the right direction, the playbook. So it's divided into 5 pillars. Research and analysis. When you start with Google SEO, the original way of doing Google SEO was to do keyword research. What's the volume? What blah, blah, blah. But today it's totally irrelevant. Because like I said, the answer engines don't rank or cite based on keywords. So it's what's the best answers people are asking about your product or your service. So there are a few tactics you can look at. People also ask in the Google search organic search result page, SERP, search engine result page. Look at the people also ask. Google is already telling you these are the questions people are asking. These are the answers you should be providing. And there are many, many other tools. And one of them is Zicy. Okay, shameless plug. Okay, so research and analysis, very important. Sometimes you can even check your customer support bot queries. You can get a lot of information from your customer support queries. Those are the questions people ask. Turn that into content. But the content must be structured nicely. Okay, I'll get into that later. And then the number 2 is a technical foundation, right? What's this technical foundation? Now, this is something very, very, very important. How many of you have websites on Cloudflare? That's a major problem. For Cloudflare, it blocks the bots from ChatGPT because they don't want the bots to grab content from those websites to be used as training data. So automatically it blocks. So a lot of people, hey, why my site is not on ChatGPT, is not mentioned? Why? Did you check your Cloudflare? Have you unblocked that? So we have a tool. It's a Chrome extension free of charge. Go to Zicy.com. look at the Chrome extension, run it on your website and see whether it's blocked or not. Okay, that's very important. So that is what we call technical. Make sure that your site is technically done, that all these answer engines will come and grab your content. It's just like robots.txt in the SEO world. So the tech, and of course, the basic SEO stuff, the EEAT. EEAT stands for expertise, experience, authority, and trust. That's the very basis of Google SEO. So AEO stems from the basis of SEO. Okay, so you make sure that you have good experience on the website, it's mobile friendly, you have content which is by high authority, expertise, authority, and make sure that the engines trust you, EEAT. Okay, that's the technical foundation. The third thing is the content and context. Okay, you guys can go and chat GPT on how to build proper content, but the content is the major one, because as I mentioned earlier, if you still have your SEO, your legacy SEO article, 3,000 word, 5,000 word, blah, 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 those are liabilities. You need to know how to chunk it down, put a proper structures to it. Okay? And then, this is one thing. Brand presence and authority. Why? Why brand presence and authority? Now, probably about 60-70% of your owned content, which is owned asset, which is your website and your social media and your Google business profile and your Shopee profile and Shopee shop or Lazada shop, right? The presence are everywhere. These are your owned media. Make sure every single piece of information is aligned, coherent, aligned, and consistent. Because if your Shopee says this product is green in color and then your website says it's blue in color, then the LLM is confused. Is it green or blue? And the trust factor drops. And when it drops, either the LLM will hallucinate, it won't give you the right answer, or just skip because I'm not too sure whether I'm telling the truth or not. So, as in with SEO, it was all the while, everything was on your website. Today, answer engines grab content from all digital touch points of your own content, earned content, and paid content. Everything will be used as training data. But a majority will come from a single source of truth, which is your website and your other owned media. Very important. Okay, so for the agencies here, a lot more business to do, because now you need to take the lead for your customers, your clients, and say, now I take the lead on AEO, I need to align all your content, your videos, your social media. All the people cannot work in silos. If they work in silos, the LLM is going to get confused and the trust factor is dropped. A lot of business opportunities for the agencies here. Okay? So, and then you need a monitoring system where you have 100 or 200 most important queries that people are putting into the answer engines, and track them and see where's your growth, what's the sentiment, what's the share of voice, what are your competitors. Those are very important. You need tools to do that. You can actually do it in a spreadsheet, but it's going to take like crazy. Okay, so to the pillar of research and analysis, keywords is already gone. Okay, answer engines don't base on keywords. It's based on questions. So you got to know all your questions. So you got to do an R&D based on the actual questions that people ask, and not only single line of question, it's multi-part question. Okay, second is the technical foundation. You can see, make sure that your bots are allowed, you know, your ChatGPT bots, your Perplexity, your DeepSeek, and they're all allowed and use structured data. Structured data is not for human. It's to tell the bots, the answer engines, crawlers, how to treat my content. So you have a piece of content on your website. Some of them is an FAQ. Some of them is a price comparison or blah, blah, blah. So you need to tell the LM, oh, this is price comparison. Oh, this is FAQ. You got to structure it on your content part by part and generate the right the right schema and the structured content. Okay, content and context. Before you've got a wall, walls of text. SEO article generally are like that, but for AEO you need to structure it like that, right? A lot of line breaks, point forms, because it's good for the LLMs, it's good for scanners, so people don't have time to read process and all that. They want, they're scanning on the internet, so if you have been writing your content based on that, the LLMs will love you. And then I talk about the authority graph. All the LLMs, individual LLMs, will build an authority graph based on your digital assets. And your digital assets are your owned, earned, and paid media. Okay, so from PR articles, customer reviews, your Shopee comments, your products and all that, right? And the LLMs will build an authority graph. And if all of these are not aligned, you're in trouble. Your trust factor drops. So if AI sees chaos, it automatically skip you. And I can tell you 99% of brands, SMEs, all their digital contents, a lot of them are misaligned, very chaotic. So if you want to win in the AO world, you need to align everything as a single source of truth. Okay, so you can see your brand currently chaotic, and as a single source of truth, you want your websites, your socials, your press, your YouTube channel, your everything to be aligned, saying the same narratives. And then you want to monitor. Now, whether it's SEO or AEO, it's not doing something and it's set in stone, and then you are hands off. I've done my job. It doesn't work this way, because algorithms keep on changing, especially in the ChatGPT world. Keeps on changing, moving very fast, even with Google. So if you think that, oh, my SEO agency has written this article and the job is done, give me my money. It doesn't work this way. So what we do is, when it's a high value keyword or prompt that we want to win for the client, we put the content out as best as we think that it should be, and then we monitor. If it doesn't move the needle, we shake the tree. We make changes. We do layering, and we monitor. If it doesn't move, we shake the tree again until you win. That's how SEO or AEO should be done. Not write an article, leave it, forget about it, and set in stone and collect my money. Doesn't work this way. So you need to track, analyze, make changes, implement, track again, over and over again. That's how you win. Okay, so what's the new KPI? Again, I mentioned share of voice. I think April will talk about this later. Okay, go a bit more detailed. So, the 5 pillars: research, technical foundation, context, content, brand presence and authority, monitoring, adaptation. I talk a little bit about how to execute. Okay, so I want to tell you a little story how we got started. I know, friends, you guys are worried, oh, what's going to happen to my website when SEO is no longer there? I'm already ranking very high, and my traffic is down. Even though I'm ranking #1, why is my traffic going down? I know you guys are very worried, all right? But I've been there. 8 years ago, I was on the verge of bankruptcy. I crashed my previous tech startup. I lost a lot of money. I lost all my children's education fund. My wife was not working. So I said, oh, what am I going to do? I'm 50 over years old. So no income, no job. So I started Growth Pro, an SEO company. 6 months later, COVID hit us. We were panicking. So I had anxiety at that time, seriously. But very luckily, we did the best that we could, and we grew and grew and grew. And we thought, okay, we're out of the woods. But 3 years ago, I had the anxiety again. What happened? ChatGPT came about. I said, oh my God, I've been struggling all my life. I'm about to retire. I want to retire. And the SEO work, Growth Pro, is doing okay for me. Why must ChatGPT come and rain on my parade? And it was very worrisome for me and my family. So what happened was, I said, okay, we need to pivot. We need to look for things to work on. So we built a chatbot. And I come from psychology background and said, everyone was building chatbots using ChatGPT, LLMs, blah, 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 blah. And I came from psychology background. I said, I'm going to put all the psychology framework in the chat so that AI has very high IQ, but it lacks EQ. It lacks a human touch. So I wanted to build a chatbot which has all the psychology framework, and humanizing the chatbot. And that's what I did, because I want to pivot from SEO. And I found out that, hey, my engineers were building and we need a huge knowledge base. And my engineers were telling me, hey, boss, this knowledge base, you need to chunk it. Chunk. You need to chunk it. You cannot have tons and tons. It's like a database. No. The LLMs work differently because it's stored in vector graph. You need to chunk it, and there's embedding, and each embedding needs to have proper labels and all that. Oh, I didn't know that. And then again, everything happens for a reason. That's my life philosophy. Everything happens for a reason. So when we were building the chatbot, I learned about how LLM works. And I read, oh, aren't we doing in the past 8 years? We are doing all this. And I was lost because I thought SEO was going to kill me, kill the company. But when I found out, Google is actually DeepMind. And DeepMind creates the LLM for Google. And I've been telling all the clients, content. From the very first day of Growth Pro, my company, we never did link building. And it was just content. We were already building content when other SEO agencies were doing link building. Google is the largest big data company in the world. It started during beta. It started with, based on the principle that the more websites linking to your website is popular. It's not a directory, it's a search engine. So based on that principle, the more websites linking to it is popular. So everyone, including their grandmother, is building links, engineered links. What happens? When you engineer a link, most of them, they'll buy links from link farms. Thin content. That's why the SEO world is known to be very dark, scammy. Because they're just arbitraging. If they pay you 1,000 ringgit, I buy links from Pakistan and all those, or for 200 ringgit. I don't even write content. I just make some changes to the header tags and I just link. I pay 200, I get 1,000, and I earn 800 ringgit clean. Easy money. That's why SEO is broken. And when you do all this, Google doesn't need to know. Maybe when they're under beta, they need this because that's a principle. But today, Google has 200 overranking factors. It doesn't need to know how many websites and which websites come to your website to know that this website is a high authority site. It's nonsense. So that's why since day one, we never built links. And we were ranking based on our content like crazy for all our clients. And all our clients come back, not local, but international ones. Because we write content, and writing content is not easy. Right? So based on that, how we got started, okay, this is my team. My beloved team. Okay, we got 30 over people. We don't do social media. We don't do paid ads. We don't do anything else. We only do SEO. So I can consider we are the largest SEO, pure play SEO company in this region. 100% SEO. Okay, so why am I telling you all this? I want to share my experience where when ChatGPT started, we found that we were going to be disrupted, so we started building the chatbot, and then we learned about how LLM works. And then the more research that we did, we felt that Google's DeepMind, OpenAI is your competitor. It's the same thing. OpenAI, when they launched ChatGPT, is the LLM. And that's how it works. So what we did was we went back to all our clients, we restructure all the long form content and put schemas and put proper headers and did a lot of research work on prompts and all that, and we tracked all this. Yeah, another thing that happened when I was so worried was that, okay, if ever we had to shut down our company, we need automation. If I cannot pay, if my clients go away because there's no more SEO, how can you do SEO when there's no more search engines? Agree? So I don't want to just plaster SEO agency. I take the SEO away, I put AEO. Most agencies are doing that. Do you even know the strategy? Do you know the basic? Are you tracking with tools? No. So I didn't want to get into that. So I told my team, hey, automate like crazy. So we were building every single thing, all the features that to automate, to get the human out of the loop. That's why I said everything happened for a reason. And when we did that, and then I was thinking, if you're building stuff like this and we know LLMs and how it works and all that, how to track, we are already using it, why don't we let the public use it? And we just turn the whole automation, the whole whatever that our team is using, and build out Zicy. Z-I-C-Y, and we pronounce it Zicy. Okay? And we build out Zicy, and that's how Zicy is born. It is literally an AI clone of Growth Pro as an agency. Okay? So with that, I end my talk. Okay. Questions?
All right. You've been standing for far long enough, so we're going to get you a seat to sit there. Doesn't want to sit. Okay, it's fine. All right, so we are running a little bit behind time, so we're going to take another 5 minutes to answer some questions since you're here. So we have some space for Richard later on. We're going to put up the Slido here. Oops, I'm blocking it. Slido here, so you can see it. But in the meantime, while we're putting this up, I want to ask you one quick question, Alvin, right? So you work with a lot of clients and also agencies and brands. If you've seen so many case studies, what's the number one thing that a brand should do like right now if they want to move into the world of AI search? Like right now, one thing.
Look into all your SEO articles. Some of them, they may be ranking 1, 2, or 3, but it's not getting traffic, and the traffic will continue to drop. Look into how to restructure your article. Find out what are the most important queries with regards to the article. Right? Research. Right? Started off with pillar 1, which is research. Find out what are those important queries, and chunk your article into based on all these queries, and give the most precise answer, not long paragraph, 1 or 2 lines, because the LLMs work, they want answers based on about 60 to 80 words. Okay, so your answers must be about 60 to 80 words, not 3,000 words. Okay, make sure you check your Cloudflare that the technical SEO is properly done, and then track. Okay, does that answer?
I hope so. All right. So the Q&A is up here. You can just put any questions, and Alvin will be answering them. We have 5 minutes to do this, but anyhow, you can always catch him later on in his booth to ask questions here. So number one, let's go for Fabian here, right? All the stats that were shown now is applicable to Malaysian market as well. Have you noticed a difference in different parts of Malaysia? And let me add on to this question while you are thinking about that one. Now, in terms of appreciation or effectiveness of SEO, AEO in Malaysia compared to international brands, how is it different? Is it important for Malaysian businesses who are targeting Malaysian customers as well, in your experience?
Okay, very good question. I love this question, because you can win. Why? Because no one is going to put in best life insurance Malaysia or what do you call that? A term, SEO term anymore in ChatGPT. Not many people, and eventually you'll see Google will change to that also. It'll be a question answer. They want to wall you into their walled garden and not getting you out of their whatever. So the question is this: now, if you are selling, I don't know, chairs. If you're selling chairs, most queries will be tagged with location in ChatGPT. What's the best chair for, I talk about entities. What's the best chair for gamers in Malaysia? You want to win that. But if you are going to win, what's the best chair for gamers? Nobody, I mean, not many people are going to put that query. Even though if they did that query, they'll put a follow-on query, Malaysia. You see? So use your geographic location to win. Okay? It can be, so what's the best aesthetic clinic for laser therapy in Klang? You want to win for that. Not what's the best aesthetic clinic in Malaysia. You're going to compete with 1,000 other aesthetic clinics. Now how are you going to win? You see? And another thing is you got to align all your owned media, your Google business profile, your PR, your branding, because all those PR, branding, and all that, right, will be used as training data for the LLMs. So everything must be aligned. And how do you know? You need to track. Does that answer your question?
I hope so. So those of you are asking, let's go for the next one, right, which is highest voted here. Now AO is about questions or prompts. How can we identify the demand and what metrics, like similar to how we research keywords demand based on search volume? So about identifying the demand.
Okay, good
and prompts.
question. Currently, there are no software to track that. It's inferred numbers only. So what you do is look for your very basic term, which the seed phrase, which comes from Google keywords. What's your seed phrase? Okay, and then try to expand from there. Okay, but there's no actual numbers. Even Google's actual search numbers are not accurate. Even if you use Ahrefs or SEMrush, these are all SEO tools, they are totally not accurate because they are probably about 1/3 of what Google's actual searches are. Okay, so it's just as guesstimation only. Okay?
So I guess the next question about tracking is also about guesstimation also.
Everything is guesstimation. Yeah. Because you see, in the LLMs, the ChatGPT is personalized to you. Okay, so answers, even though your friend sits beside you, asking the same prompt, the same query, you get different answers. And if you refresh it, the answer is different again. Okay? So you cannot nail down what's the exact number. So you just guesstimate.
Okay, so let's try to go for two more here. So this one is a question about e-commerce using Shopify. Do I need to put LLM.text to all my product page or only blog page?
Generally, LLM.text is for the overall website. Generally. Okay, it's quite a new concept. Okay, so like I said again, I'm the strategy guy. The technical guy, you gotta ask my team because I'm the worst person to ask in terms of technical and tactical stuff. Okay, I'm more of the strategy guy. So ask April or yeah.
All
I'm
right,
sorry
and
about that.
no worries. And last one here, let's go for last one. ChatGPT is unable to read social media pages or posts if I put social links. Do I have to do something to ensure it crawls my social content?
Wow.
The first one on top here.
Okay, I never read social media pages or posts. No, you cannot actually do that because you see, every single model, large language model, it can be Perplexity, Claude, AI Overview, ChatGPT, it works differently. And it continuously changes, it's always in flux. So today, if I give you an answer, tomorrow it may be wrong already. Because that's how fast the AI moves. Okay, so basically, the LLMs will crawl everything from all digital touch points, even your customer support and your comments in your Shopee store and all that, right? So use those as training data.
All right, and with that, I have to close the floor for Q&A, but you can always look for Alvin and his team,
Yeah.
Growth Pro and Zicy over that side or anywhere in the event later on. So thank you, Alvin. Give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you very much.